Hey bookworms, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to declutter my bookshelf. So about a year ago, I promised you that by the end of 2019, which is now, I'm going to be decluttering this thing because it's a mess. Yes, there are cars on top of the books because that's what happens when you live in a very small apartment. I will not be decluttering everything. I will only be decluttering the middle bookshelf, the white one, because this is the one that's officially mine. The other two in both sides technically belong to my husband, but I will go over them just to make sure there aren't any books there that are technically mine. I will be inspired by the KonMari method, which means that I will be taking all the books from the shelves and put them in one place, probably the floor, and then I will be going one by one and deciding if it makes sense for me to keep this book or not. So my goal is, or the plan is, just to keep books that I like, that I want to keep. I know it sounds very general, but the thing is that unlike more practical stuff like clothing, books are a collection for me. Basically, I just want to be happy with the way the bookshelf will look afterwards. Just, for it to look nice and for me to actually love every single book on the shelf, whether I've read it or didn't read it, or if I'm planning on rereading it, etc. So, without further ado, let's get started. So I'm running out of place on the floor, but it's okay because we only have one shelf left. We do have another shelf right here, but here is where I keep other stuff, and these are not book related in any way, so I won't be touching them right now, but I have to at some point. Okay, let's continue. Can't reach. Oh, it didn't fall. So all the books are off the shelves. I'm left with this bottom shelf that I will not be touching on today. And I just got a bunch of stuff here, mostly like little dragons and stuff like that. I'm not much of a little statuette thing kind of a person, but I do have a few and I do want to keep them. But the books, they come first. So guys, this is what I'm left with. I have 155 books. So yeah, I'm going to divide them into categories for me to make a bit more sense of them. And I'm probably going to do it off camera just for convenience sake. And then we shall come back and see what stays and what goes. I'm surrounded by books. I feel trapped. I mean, I love being surrounded by books, but honestly, I'm a little overwhelmed. All I can think of is, what did I get myself into? No, but actually, organizing is gonna be fine. I organize things by categories. I think this is nonfiction. Here, can you see it? Yes, you can see it. Are big collections. I have the Ultimate Hitchhiker's Guide. I have my full Shakespeare thing here. Thrillers. No, this is thrillers. This is classics. Child 44 is a thriller, not a classic. Agatha Christie, fantasy. Over there, I have some books in German. Over here, I have books in Hebrew. I think these are nonfiction. Stephen Fry. I mean, it's kind of according to categories. I'm not sure it was actually very helpful. I'm mostly kind of procrastinating right now, talking to you. I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to do. I also try to figure out what I'm going to film, because I will not go book by book telling you exactly what I'm going to keep and what not. So I just need to figure out how I'm going to do that. That's the first time I'm filming a declutter like that. Okay, back to business. I think that I'm going to start by showing you books that I know that I want to get rid of, that I know that I don't want. This is going to be a good point. I just need to find them first. I'm starting with Stephen Fry. I really love Stephen Fry, but here you can see it. That's the first book on the pile. Oh, that's dusty. This is Making History. I have all of Stephen Fry's novels in English, which is the original, which means I can get rid of the translation. I really love them, but I have the original. I don't need a translation. Okay, guys, I have a bit of a problem. I know we just started, but I just said that I will get rid of the 4 translated Stephen Fry novels, but I can't get rid of this one. This is Making History. When I recently reviewed Making History, I told you that this is one of my favorite books ever, and this is the copy that I originally bought. I usually don't get emotionally attached to books, but I'm kind of attached to this one, but I have it in English. It feels like it doesn't really make sense to keep both of them. And this is pretty new, it's a new copy. But I kind of want to keep this for sentimental reasons. I'm probably not gonna keep a lot of books, if any books, for sentimental reasons, but I think I will keep that, and I will put it kind of like behind the other books. So I will have it, but it will not take place on the shelf. So I can officially put this Stephen Fry pile on the keep pile. I think that for now I'm just gonna put it behind me because I don't have a lot of space. Speaking of getting rid of translated versions of books that I have in the original, I'm going to get rid of my entire translated Agatha Christie books. I said before, sometime, I don't remember when, that I want to replace all of these books with the original English, and the plan was every time I'm getting the English one I will get rid of the translated one, but then I realized it doesn't really make sense. I mean, I do want to get rid of these, so why wait until I get the English version? I have a list on my computer of all of her books. I know which ones are missing, and little by little I'm gathering them, so I can just get rid of these now. So yeah, I feel very accomplished already. This is a good start. So those were the obvious piles. Those are books that I kind of knew already that I want to give up. Now I'm probably going to fast forward this because I don't want to discuss every single book here. And I think that I will do that. And then at the very end, I will share with you all the books that I got rid of. So as you probably saw, I did keep a lot of books. These are mostly non-fiction, biographies of authors, etc. I do have a maybe pile over here. These are the plays of Oscar Wilde. This is another one of those collection that I'm not sure if we're really going to read, but you know, I think I will keep them. I like Oscar Wilde and I do want to read more plays, so I will keep that. I do, however, want to go over with you a bit of my on my non-fiction books. So first I have these 3 heavy origami books. These 2 were presents from my husband. I am going to get rid of this one. It has maybe 2 designs that I really like and I know them by heart. Also, just a little information about origami books. This is black and white. The drawings are not very clear, but anyway, the quality of this is not very good, so this is going to go. This is gonna stay. This is Guess How Much I Love You, another present from my husband. This was a part of a gift for my first birthday that we spent together. Next I have this one. I haven't read it yet, but I do want to. Ingrid Nilsson suggested this book on her channel and it sounds really interesting. This thing is brilliant. This is script writing by KonMari-ing. I got it when I was in high school and I was studying script writing, and this is really brilliant. This also stays. This is something that my aunt got me years ago. It's the biographical dictionary of film. It's like a dictionary but for people who are related to cinema, and I don't care how old this is, I'm always going to keep this book. Let's see who's there. Philip Seymour Hoffman. It says that he was born in 1976. It doesn't say here that he died, so kind of to give you an idea of how old it is. Oh, Philip Seymour Hoffman, you'll be missed. And the other two books are both of them about Tim Burton. I need to go over them to see if I want to keep them or not. This was a gift from hubby. This one I bought myself. Again, in high school, I did some work about Tim Burton films, and I don't know, it's really cool. I still love Tim Burton's earlier movies, not the few last ones, so I'll just go over them off camera to see if I want to keep both of them or not. And I think that was it for the nonfiction. Now let's continue in the usual program. I want to keep both of them. By the way, I found another nonfiction that I'm going to keep. This is Face Forward by Kevin O'Quan. This is a makeup book. Now, makeup books are always a little difficult because of fashion changes and style changes and techniques, products, and even things that are considered like science-y, like what's flattering for the face. Everything changes, but I think this is a very good basic book. First of all, it's like a coffee table book to show, hey, look, I'm a makeup artist. So I have a makeup book, and also it has like very kind of naked classic looks that I really like. I have no idea where I am. Okay, so this is a keep, this is a keep. These I haven't went through yet. Okay, everything is clear. Remember when I reviewed it? I still have it on my shelf. I said in my review that it will be really cool to put it on the coffee table as a coffee table book. The thing is that I think it will kind of disappear there or either get dirty, so it stays on my shelf. Jasper Ford, keeping all the Jasper Ford. Okay, so I'm officially went through all the books. This is not all I'm keeping. I'm keeping a lot, but I do want to share with you my maybe pile. Hopefully by sharing the maybe pile I can reach a conclusion, but please let me know what you think. So first off, I have the Mime Order and the Song Rising by Samantha Shannon. These are the second and the third book of the Bone Season series. I believe the series is called in a different name, but this is the first one, and I really like it, even though it's a bit more like the teenage, YA dystopian novel, whatever, but it's a good one. And then the second was okay, and the third one was okay. So The debate is that it's a first of a series that I'm going to keep. And should I keep the second and the third one, even though I didn't really like them? And I know it's stupid, but these things annoy me. They all should be in the same size, okay? The thing is that I do want to read the fourth one once it comes out, which I have no idea when it is. Maybe it's already out. Huh. Anyway, I don't know. This stays in the maybe pile. Next, I have The Witches of New York. I reviewed this book. It was cute. It was interesting, but did I like it as much to make it take space on my shelf? I'm not sure. I more liked it than disliked it, but it was kind of forgettable, but it was also very cute. I think I'm gonna keep it. It's not like I'm not getting rid of books at all. I mean, you should see this pile that I'm looking at. I will show you in a second. I did get rid of books, but I also knew that I love keeping books, so. Similar story is The Watcher in the Shadows. It was a very cute book. I love the author. It was very nice. I don't know. It's a very cute book, but do you want to keep it? I do. Next, I have the Third Millennium book. This is kind of funny because I did keep it. It's somewhere here. I did keep the first one, The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. I said before I really loved The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, but I didn't like any of the sequels, and I don't even have the second book because someone took it and never returned it. So I have the first and the third, and I didn't like the third, so I think I'm going to get rid of it. So now I will share with you the books that I am getting rid of, so you'll be able to see that I did get rid of books, even though it doesn't look like it. So first are the book that I already mentioned. These are the three Stephen Fry books, the Third Millennium book, and all of the translated Agatha Christie books that I have. I just can't hold them up to the camera. It's a bit too complicated, but just so you know, I'll count how many are there. 9 books. So these are 9 Agatha Christie books, the origami book that I mentioned. And speaking of Agatha Christie, I have 2 books of her in German, but I'm getting rid of translations anyway because I want to have them in English, so it doesn't really make sense. And unfortunately, I'm also getting rid of this one. This is Elephants Can Remember. My brother-in-law gave it to me, and it was just in a really bad condition. It's not his fault. Like, he already got it, I think, for a very cheap price because it was very damaged, and he asked if I want to read it. I did read it. It wasn't one of the best ones, but it is Hercule Poirot. If the book wasn't completely falling apart, I would have probably kept it. I'll see if I can maybe correct. No, I can't like put masking tape on it. I think this has to go to recycling. Unfortunately, it's completely falling apart, but at least I know that this book was very beloved and was read a lot, even though honestly it wasn't one of her best books. Unfortunately, I'm also getting rid of another book that I bought years ago, and I love the cover. This is The End of Mr. Y by Scarlett Thomas. I mentioned this book a few times in lists, and I will get rid of it even though I like it. I do want to get the original English version. I don't know if it makes sense to you or not, or if, I don't know if it sounds weird or not that I'm just getting rid of books that were translated because I want the original, but I don't know, it has to do with aesthetics. But one thing I do know from the same author that I'm getting rid of is Popco, another book I reviewed. It was annoying, it was stupid. Scarlett, I have issues with her. But she's going, as well as this one. This is a P.G. Wodehouse book, Jeeves and the Feudal Spirit. I really loved Righto Jeeves. I have it, I'm keeping it. And so I bought this one, but it was kind of boring, and yeah, that goes away. And then I have these 3 books. These are the second, the third, and the fourth book of the Murder Squad series. I don't think I reviewed all of them. I think I reviewed some of them. Here's the thing. I really love the first book. It's called The Yard. and it's the only book of this entire series that I really liked. The rest 3 books were somewhere between and what the hell was he thinking? Basically, the only one that I love is this first one that I don't even have. So bye. And then I have Something Wicked This Way Comes. I am very sad to get rid of this, but if you've seen my review, you know that I really want to love this book, but I couldn't stand it. These 2 books are in Hebrew. I have She the Lover of Death. This is by Boris Akunin. He's a Russian author. This is one of the Pandorans series, I think it's called. It's like a combination of historical and detective books, and the idea is really cool, but I found the book really boring. And the last book that I'm getting rid of is The 13th Tale by Diane Setterfield. I read it, I thought it was nice, but not good enough for me to actually keep it. So there are 24 books that I will be giving to somebody else who will hopefully enjoy them more than I did, except the one Agatha Christie that will unfortunately go to recycling because there is nothing else that I can do with it. So I think that leaves 131 books. I'm really bad at calculating in my head, but yeah, I think that's the amount of books that I'm left with, and this is a lot, but I do love books, and I think that I'm left with books that I like, that I love, that I'm planning on reading, or I just love seeing on the shelf. So the last step will be organizing everything and putting it back on the shelf. Wish me luck. Guys, I think I'm done. So this was a chore, but I did enjoy doing it. I also think it was necessary, obviously, because you remember how it looked like before. It was a total mess. Also, I'm glad to see that I got rid of so many books. I don't know if for you it's a lot or not, but for me it is a lot, and I feel good about it. I don't feel sorry. I don't regret anything that I decluttered. And I'm also glad to see that all the books that I have at the moment fit this shelf. Nothing is laying on top of another except my Agatha Christie books that I decided to just pile on top of another instead of laying them up in a row. It was an artistic choice. However, I now remember that I have all those dragon little thingies that will not fit, so I'll have to find another place for them. But other than that, yeah, I'm really happy with the way things are looking. There is a chance that I will kind of reorganize things, you know, switch around the books. It will take a while, but the big project is done with and I'm happy, and I hope you're happy as well. I hope you like watching this video, and I hope that I've inspired you to maybe declutter your bookshelf. Please comment down below if maybe you have a YouTube channel yourself and you decluttered your own books. I'll be happy to watch these videos and see if if your bookshelf was a bigger mess than mine. So guys, I think I will end this video here because this was a big project and I am hungry now and the camera needs to be charged. So again, I hope you really liked this video. Thank you very much for watching. If you did like it, please don't forget to click like to show your support and subscribe to my channel if you dare for other book reviews and other book related content. And until next time, thank you again for watching guys, and I will see you in my next video. Bye bye.